Future WrestleMania and Royal Rumble plans have been revealed, plus AEW reject a major WWE Hall of Famer, and we have the updates on an AEW Star's contract status. It's all in the wrestling news right now. Remember John Cena at Money in the Bank?
I do.
When he went, WrestleMania should be in the United Kingdom. Do you remember him saying that?
During an unspecified period of time where it could potentially happen if somebody hopefully buys the rights to host WrestleMania in London, please come and buy WrestleMania in London. I heard that promo, yeah.
Well, look, John Cena went out and said that and said WrestleMania in the UK. We were wrong to think for a second he would lie to us. Fightful Select report. Minneapolis has been heavily discussed.
There's always 2026, everybody, don't worry.
We'll do it next year. It's like our World Cup campaign. And Minneapolis has been heavily discussed within the company as a possible and even likely location for WrestleMania 41 in 2025. Minneapolis city planners actually leaked this news to local media, but when Fightful asked WWE officials about it months ago, they confirmed that Minneapolis was one of the several cities that had interest in hosting WrestleMania. Now, the funny part about this is they were meant to host it a little while ago, according to certain insiders, but they started telling people, yeah, we're hosting WrestleMania, and then they didn't, and they're doing it again. Go on, Minneapolis, love your work. The US Bank Stadium being cited as the possible location, which it's a beautiful venue.
It is a lovely venue, lovely blue seats.
It's gorgeous.
What you want, isn't it? A blue seat in an arena.
It's a bit of blue for the dads, I guess. But WrestleMania possibly going to Minneapolis in 2025. What about the Royal Rumble next year?
PW Insider have reported that Tampa was being considered for the Royal Rumble, but the talent we've spoken to have said, as of last week when they were asked where it would be at, they were told that the information couldn't be provided as of yet. Those we've spoken to, PW Insider that is, say that Tampa has been the front runner for quite some time. That would mean it would go to the place where WrestleMania 37 was, you would assume.
Yes.
Unless there is another big arena in the Tampa area.
I think they like that one. I could see them going to that big old stadium.
Big old pirate ship.
I'd love if we had like a nice piratey themed Rumble where there's a big pirate ship that all the wrestlers climb off to get in the Rumble.
Or the Rumble takes place on the pirate ship and it's man overboard to get the victory there.
Why aren't they letting us write the wrestling?
I don't know, Tom.
Why are they letting us write the wrestling?
You can just take these record profits and shove them up your arse because we'd have more fun. We'd have more fun, Tom.
Do you know what? I do feel for anybody doing the Royal Rumble in this modern era because, you know, back in my day, the Rumble was held in like a standard arena, you know, fairly short ramp. Now they're held in stadiums, so basically you've got to run the Great North Run before you even start the match.
It's fine. The big lads get a little Segway thingy. Do you remember? Like 2017? Up the big lads on the little scooter thingies. Fantastic.
You could have so much more fun with that. Like, because they made sure to cut away so you didn't see them on the little Segways. I think you should own it.
Everybody should get the same treatment. Get back the little sort of WrestleMania 3 ring sort of thing coming down to the ring, but a little bit zippier for the modern day.
I love some people come down in the little WrestleMania 3 ring. Some could come down in like motorbikes and cars and be like wacky races.
Someone's got a jetpack. Ricochet's got a jetpack for no reason.
Wyatt family coming down in the Arkansas Chugga-Bug. It'd be brilliant. I love the jetpack idea. Just flying down in a jetpack.
Does a shoot 450 off the jetpack? Easy does it. Writes itself.
Writes
easy.
itself. I tell you what would write itself. The idea of running a wrestling promotion and having Bret the Hitman Hart come to you and say, hey, I'd like to work with your talent behind the scenes. Didn't happen in AEW, did it, Ross?
No, wrestling writer Brian Solomon has recently spoke on Twitter about Orange Cassidy taking up this new producer role in AEW alongside his talent role as well. What he said about this is Big Brian. I don't know if he's a Big Brian. He's just Brian.
Moderately sized Brian.
I'm actually a big fan of Orange Cassidy and his work, but in a company that has Arn Anderson, Jake Roberts, Taz, Billy Gunn, Christian Cage, Chris Jericho, Dustin Rhodes and Sting in the locker room, shouldn't they be the ones tapped to be the road agents? Who says they're not?
That's very true. And then went on to reveal, when I recently interviewed Bret Hart for my book, he told me he'd offered to agent for them, but they only wanted to bring him in as a manager like Tully, Arn, Jake, etc. Imagine having the ability to have Bret Hart coach your talent and say, no, just be a TV character.
The one thing I would say to that, because obviously the comparisons are being made between, Orange Cassidy is a producer teaching the talent things and giving them bit of wisdom and all that sort of stuff, and Bret Hart doing the same thing. I think Orange Cassidy's got more of an ear for what the modern day wrestling fan wants than Bret Hart wants. I would say if Bret Hart rocked up in AEW, he would be one of the ones who would piss all over Orange Cassidy, even though he still remains to this day, 4 years in, one of the most popular acts in the entire company.
I would be intrigued to see what Bret Hart thinks of Orange Cassidy.
Hates him. 4 out of 10.
Oh no. It's true. I mean, there's stuff that we can still do from the older times of wrestling. I mean, a lot of what Roman Reigns does now is a lot of old school wrestling stuff. It's all in the pacing. It's all in the execution. It's simple moves delivered in a big way. So there's definitely something that you can still learn from that older style, and maybe a combo of a Bret Hart and an Orange Cassidy, where you get the little modern flex along with the classic stuff as well. That seems like a good way to age. And
yeah, I mean, the story's being pitched to appear as if it was a sort of choice for AEW. You could have Orange Cassidy or you could have Bret Hart, which I don't. Yeah, let's get rid of that. That's not what we're saying.
It wasn't like a grabber machine where you went, oh, do Orange Cassidy. It wasn't that. It was, these are two separate things. Yeah. But I think it was a school of thought because a few people had come down quite heavy on the idea of Orange Cassidy agenting, and I don't think it's a terrible idea. And make all the jokes. You're like, oh, pockets. What will he teach them to? We'll do that. We did that yesterday.
Listen to the crowd reaction, I would say. Orange Cassidy knows how to do the wrestling.
Yeah, but the crowd are all paid for, Ross. They're all paid.
This isn't NXT. What are you talking about?
It's funny. Everything is fake now. Now, there is nothing fake about the love behind the scenes for a burgeoning, a flowering...
Girthy. Thick with 2 C's.
A thick new tag team.
Yeah, Brian Cage and Big Bill have a recent tag team on AEW Rampage. We saw them together. Fightful Selector saying there are a lot of people impressed with that tandem, and they were told they're both happy with one another as well. I would like to see them together, just slapping man all over the place.
This could be a brave new era of just heavyweight tag team wrestling, spearheaded by a team of Brian Cage and Big Bill.
Big Bill. You know, I like the Gates of Agony as well, just thinking about more big...
Yeah, good shout.
Bear Country for the big boys as well. They've got a fair few big boy tag teams in AEW.
Yeah, I like that. It's in keeping with like WCW in like the mid 90s. Sam Driver and I do a classic Nitro review every Thursday on the podcast feed, and we're currently in this bit where like the tag division is just all heavy lads. It's the Steiners, it's Fire and Ice, Scott Norton and Ice Trade, it's the Legion of Doom, it's the Nasty Boys, it's Harlem Heat. They're just all big boys. Big lads just throwing each other around. Maybe there is a renaissance for the big boy doubles divisions on the horizon.
Yes, I might get myself involved.
Go
Just
on.
take up wrestling training, become a big boy tag team member. Applications within for the tag team partner of me and the big boys.
Let us know in the comments who Ross's tag team partner should be and what the tag team should be called.
That's engagement there, Tom. He's done this before.
This is what they pay me 12p an hour for.
Someone they're not paying 12 pence an hour, that is AEW, is Roosh, who signed a new contract. Hopefully they're not paying him 12 pence an hour.
Well, whatever they're paying for him, he signed it and he was happy with it. He shared a video of he and Tony Khan signing on the dotted line and then having a really awkward Tony Khan hug afterwards. And that's no shade on Tony. I just don't think human interaction is his thing. Roosh tweeted out, I started a new chapter in my personal and professional career. People doubted I could make it. Today, I want to say I'm 100% AEW. Thank you, Tony Khan. Thank you, fans. And thank you, my LFI brothers. We can now rule the wrestling world.
I'm very intrigued by this one because obviously Roosh comes into AEW with a large sort of reputation from around the world and in Mexico and places like that. Around the world and in Mexico, because that's not in the world, is it, Ross? Anyway, let's carry on. But in so far in AEW, I don't think he's shown like basically what he's capable of. He's had a couple of banger matches, but who doesn't have banger matches these days? So I'm very interested to see what he can do going forward now that he's full-time.
And it's a good shout for Tony Khan, all jokes aside, to keep someone like Roosh on the books, but I just hope that we now really see him do stuff.
Yeah.
You know, I want to really see him get in the weeds now that we've got not so much a roster split, it's very much a soft roster split where there's a lot more time, you know, because I often complained about like how just there were too many things, too many people crammed onto Dynamite on a Wednesday night. They have alleviated that problem. Ring of Honor's doing its own thing over there. Collision and Dynamite have very distinctive rosters, not hard split, but soft split. So there is room now for a Roosh to come in and really rage, and I'm really up for it.
It makes you think what they're going to do with Andrade, because Andrade wants his mask back from the House of Black. Roosh is now signed on full time. Could that mean a thing? I don't know.
A Roosh and Andrade team?
Yeah, why not? I don't know. They were together for a little time ago with Jose the assistant, weren't they?
Yeah. And look, we do quite well in our de facto heavy boys doubles division. Get them in there as well. What a good time that would be. Hey, and for more wrestling news throughout the day, you can check out cultaholic.com. Stay safe.
Up the big boys.